Have you ever seen before or since an interrupted voiceover?
Yeah,
right. Nikki's just talking like, we're meeting in a fucking cornfield. We don't want anybody to see us. And he's like, well, the thing that's important is,
I mean, what's right is right. They don't give a fuck about
That is legit hilarious and nightmarish. Like, who else does that?
Yeah, it's
I guess I'm not going to give you folks a voiceover no more. I'm getting murdered.
Motherfucking goddamn orange peel beef.
What's up, everybody? Woo! All right. Put your hands together. It's the One Fucking Hour show. Of course, this is the show where we talk about one goddamn movie and we have just 1 fucking hour to do it. I'm Evan Husney. To my left, the man with his hat. He's got to have his hat. We got Big T, Tom Fitzgerald. Tom, what's going on?
Hey, justice for Drew Nickens.
Oh, for real, dude.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. Drew Nickens, hang in there, baby.
Wait, I need something for Drew Nickens. There we go. Okay. We're thinking about you, man. We're thinking about you. All right. And back with us, as always, we got Mr. Marcus Herring. Marcus, what's going on?
Hey there. I had a lot of fun preparing for this episode today, watching the movie and stuff, but it did interrupt my time listening to Black Sabbath, so I didn't get to listen to enough Black Sabbath this week.
Well, the problem is Casino doesn't have enough Black Sabbath in it.
Exactly.
That's the major flaw.
I already wrote a letter to
Scorsese.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And yeah, before we get into tonight's episode, obviously last week, while we were recording, Ozzy had just passed away. It was like this total crazy thing that we just didn't think was going to happen. And
Crazy train.
And so we decided, that we were going to record an epic tribute to Ozzy, an episode, and a tribute to Black Sabbath, which we have just released. So the full 3 hours, 3 fucking hours.
So it's 3 times a usual episode.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Holy moly. But you know what? It goes like 15
Flies right by.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, really.
It does. We did 3 fucking hours on Ozzy's, run with Black Sabbath, the original run. And we went through every single album, track by track. We covered
Saint Vitus dance.
Motherfuckers. Yeah. We went through every track, talked about our favorite deep cuts, our favorite, just of the heavy hitters. It was really fun. So it was a super awesome, deep, exhaustive dive we did. And that's available on the Patreon if you want to hear it in full. The full 3-hour ride is up there on the Patreon, patreon.com/onefuckinghour. Or you can also, if you join the YouTube channel, become a Momen on the YouTube channel, click the join button underneath this video. You can get it up there too. But we also released a 1-hour free preview. So if you want to just get the first hour where we talk to pretty much get up to the first album in Paranoid, that's up on YouTube right now, and you can check that out. So I highly recommend.
If you're not a fan of Black Sabbath, it might make you one, or at least very curious to check it out. I'm not kidding. We give them as much love as you can imagine. We're all huge fans, really. And, just our enthusiasm, I think, will make someone even just curious if they're not really, if they don't think they like Black Sabbath.
Or if you're a casual fan and you haven't explored beyond the hits.
It's time to dig in.
It's time to get
into Time to get into Under the Sun.
Yes, it really is. So
time to get into Death Mask, right?
Oh, we didn't talk about that on the show.
That's a whole
nother.
That's the next 3-hour part 2 Black Sabbath deep dive.
But R.I.P. Ozzy. Man, Godspeed. He's the man, of course, icon, everything. So we're huge Black Sabbath fans here. So it was a big, it was a huge honor to do that episode. So. Everybody check that out. But what are we talking about this week? We're, of course, in the midst of our One Fucking Summer Crimetime series, where we're covering crime films all month. And here we are. We're doing, for episode 142, I believe, we're doing Martin Scorsese's Casino. So, holy shnikes,
There's a lot of crime there.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting into that 3-hour film tonight. We're going to try and cover under the clock of 1 fucking hour. So we'll see how that goes. But this is a big film for us. I mean, we've teased and talked about it a lot here on the channel. We've done, we've done Goodfellas in the past. We went to town on that. We went to town, of course, on, After Hours, King of Comedy, Cape Fear even we've done. So
yeah, right.
So here we are now with Casino, the other monster.
We did Taxi Driver.
Yeah, that's right. And King of Comedy. Yeah. Did I mention that? I think I did.
Yes.
But here is the big deep dive on one of his monster 90s flicks. So we're going to be doing 1 fucking hour in Casino. I already mentioned the Patreon, but guys, I just got to give a quick plug again. Hold on. 1 fucking hour Patreon, proper with the real time. Patreon.com/1 fucking hour is where you can sign up for just $5 a month, and it's the best way to support the show. As I said, keeps the lights on here. You get our Black Sabbath bonus episode. You get 24-hour early access to every single episode that we put out. And we're building a pretty sweet community up there. We got chat rooms. We got DMs flying by. So that's where everybody's hanging out these days. But if you want all your content up on YouTube instead of Patreon, you can join the channel, as I said, by going to our channel homepage, finding the join button, clicking that, same price, same perks. We appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. And Black Sabbath show is up there now. And thanks to everybody who has supported our show, man. Really stoked. So
appreciate it. Yeah.
All
Keeps
right.
the lights on.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. So Tom's got some auto camera moves going on there, but I think we're going to lean into that for tonight.
Got the Scorsese dolly.
Yeah, right.
It was more like the Jaws zoom in.
Yeah, right. The vertigo parallax. Yeah.
I won't move.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I'm talking to my camera.
Right. All right. So what do we do? Okay. So let's get the clock going here. Let's get this shit ready to roll. Here comes the clock.
Start the
1
clock.
fucking hour in Casino. Here we go. Everybody strap in.
Start the clock.
All right. So Casino, again, whenever we cover these big ubiquitous films that everybody knows, I feel like it's moot to waste the clock on a plot synopsis, especially for a film like this. This, of course, one of the monster mob flicks from Scorsese. Its origin story resides in a real story, sort of about the mafia and its connections to Las Vegas and sort of the history of the 70s to 80s Las Vegas, but just in terms of the mob controlling Vegas. And the story was sort of ripped from the headlines. The screenwriter, Nicholas Pileggi, who also, of course, wrote, Goodfellas, showed Scorsese an article about a husband and wife fight that occurred in terms of the real, Ace and the real Ginger were basically there was a domestic violence dispute going on, out at 7 a.m, right out in front of everybody in their front lawn. And that is one of the pieces that led to not only the unraveling of their relationship, but the unraveling of their entire mafia controlling empire of Las Vegas. Right. So I think the dark comedy found in that and just how one sort of toxic relationship exploded everything is kind of what the turnkey inspiration was for this film, which I love because all the domestic scenes in this film, to me, are some of the standout shit. This movie, very much a Joe Pesci vehicle, very much a Sharon Stone vehicle. And I mean, everybody's great. And of course, Scorsese's on fire with some truly electric pop filmmaking, which we're going to get into, and all that stuff. But this is sort of the end of the Wild West era of Vegas as this movie gets into. And one thing I wanted to kick this off because rewatching it, and I've seen this movie many times, but rewatching it again, I'm always struck at just how fucking insanely violent this movie is.
Dude.
And it's really more violent than almost any other movie, any other mainstream movie.
It's like Cannibal Holocaust.
And and not only just because of like gore, blood, but because of the filmmaking and just the execution of everything, it's so visceral. And this movie is deeply embedded into the fabric of my being in my years coming up and forming as a person. Because and we were talking about this before we started rolling a little bit, but we wanted to save it for the air, which is I think I was like 9 or 10 or something like that when this movie came out commercially on that double VHS set, this movie scarred me. We talk about childhood haunts, the things you saw when you were too young. Like for me, RoboCop, that scene where the guy who's like with the acid, that scarred me. And this movie scarred me. But Tom, you also had a moment like this?
There's childhood haunts, which we love here, and
Yeah.
you are saying you're articulating that you had one as a child.
Yeah.
I had with this film an adult haunt. Okay, I was like 30, and it caused me to have a nightmare.
There you go.
So, what scene got you?
Okay, so let's see if it's the same one. But I remember
that's what we wanted.
Being 10 or whatever, wandering down, couldn't sleep, wandered down to like, you know, my dad and like a family member or like his girlfriend at the time were watching Casino in the basement. And I could hear this movie playing. And I just happened to like sneak downstairs to kind of like see what they were doing during the fucking, I'm going to put your head in a vice, motherfucking vice scene, you know? And I saw this as a kid, and I'm telling you, it made me not, I've never seen anything like it. Cause like the fucking makeup effects, right? Of this guy like vomiting up blood as his head is being put in this thing, his eyeball, of course, popping out, and just the sound
Joe
design.
Pesci's like a commentary, like, you made me pop your eye out, Charlie M.
You make me pop your fucking eye out of your head to protect that piece of shit, Charlie M. You dumb motherfucker.
You know, like this grotesque, cartoonish character, like over like this gore face, you know.
And of course, that VHS analog quality over it, you know, it makes it look like a fucking SOV, you know, or something on top of it.
Yeah.
And it was the most visceral, upsetting thing I'd ever seen. Like rotten.com times 10, like kept me up. It actually, I couldn't sleep, and I've had nightmares about that.
And like Cream's playing. Yeah. The song by Cream, right? Yeah. What's the song, Marcus?
I'm not sure which one is.
Whatever.
It's a cover at that moment, right? But Toad is playing later, right? When the desert. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I did not get an adult haunt from that scene, but it was another scene. So I can briefly break it down.
Sure, please.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So it didn't match up. Interesting. This is the end of the film in the cornfield. Okay.
Oh, well, forget about it.
So the cornfield. So I wasn't ready for this. I saw this film first on cable. I loved it. I thought it was great. I was like, why didn't I see this in the theater when it came out? But so we're in the cornfield, and like the film had brutal moments, like that popped the eye out. But then the way that he's methodically depicting like the slow death of Joe Pesci's character and his brother's character, and there's that shot where his body's just covered completely in blood.
Yeah.
And they throw him still breathing into an open, pit.
Dirt grave. Yeah.
The dust is, you can see his breath through the dust as they're pouring the dust, he's being buried alive, and he's, and like his mouth's going,
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Cause that was getting kind of like, one of those like guinea pig movies
right,
or something.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god. So anyway, so I went to sleep, and then the next I had a dream, and it was this. Bear with me, and it was all these mobsters were cheering on the guy with the bat, and he was the boss in my dream.
Yeah,
and, and the boss's name was Tony Mr. Danza.
Oh my!
So his name,
Angela.
so it's like right, no, but it's like, hey, Tony, Mr. Danza, and he's beating people to death with the bat and making them bloody, and everyone's going, Tony, Mr. Danza, Tony, Mr. Danza. I've never said that to anyone, but I had that dream.
Wow!
This film gave me a 30-year-old man a nightmare.
Wow!
And it was that scene. So we had two different scenes. So this is that kind of film. You know?
Tony, Mr. Danza.
Tony, Mr. Danza.
I love that.
Tony, Mr. Danza. He's beating the guy to death.
That dirt
dreams.
going into his mouth
Awful.
was catching my eye today. I was
Awful.
like, is that
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering, is that Joe Pesci, or is that like a prosthetic head? That's
I
down
read
there
that it is a
covered in-
prosthetic.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
But that's
because it's so extreme.
the sort of unrealness about that too makes it a little more nightmarish, and it's
it does.
Yeah, and this movie. I challenge people. What's another mainstream Hollywood movie that has gore set pieces really as upsetting as this movie? I don't think there's many.
Well, you mentioned RoboCop, I guess.
That's true, but this even more mainstream in some ways. You know. Anyway. Let's get into this.
Well, Marcus, do you have a nightmare?
God, you're making me. I wish I did.
That's all right.
No, I don't. I kind of missed this movie at the time. I was a teenager. I didn't care, and I was a big Goodfellas fan already. And I believed the hype at the time, where I was like, "This is just Goodfellas 2 or whatever,"
Right.
and I skipped it. and I didn't even recognize that it was like a 70s movie at the time. You know what I mean? Like the poster made it look kind of sleek and modern. You know what I mean? Like it looked like a boring story about 90s casinos or something to me as a kid. So I didn't catch it till later.
Yeah, it is.
I did. I know what you mean. It did get slagged with like Goodfellas 2.
Yeah.
And which is so unfair. And we'll discuss that.
Even Marty kind of says in a way it is a sequel. He kind of addresses that.
But that shouldn't be a criticism,
No, not at all. It's just
I'm just saying that like there's a revision because like that was a dumb take back then.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. And I think this film, as we mentioned last week when we were talking about doing it, it's like this movie has had somewhat of a reevaluation in a way. Like this movie has its fans. And some people prefer it, which I might be in that camp now. I don't know.
Absolutely.
This movie's got a lot of great shit in it. So
I'm equal because I have my own thing about Goodfellas, but this is forget Goodfellas for a second. This is a monster.
It's a monster. Yeah, it's a total monster.
So we're going to get into it with details.
Yeah.
For everybody.
So of course, like we did with Goodfellas when we covered that, we talked about gotta have my hat type scenes. With Goodfellas, all the little moments that make that movie so special and so fun to watch and rewatch. So let's start out with do we have any pet little moments that stood out to us on this rewatch? Very deep cut, like, I'm going deep. Deep cuts.
You did that.
Yes.
Yeah, just deep. Like only the deepest cuts.
Yes, exactly.
Please.
So
for just this little round we're doing, one each.
Okay.
All right. So, Tom, you start because I feel like you're going to have a good Tom one.
Okay, well, so all right, so the little girl and Sharon Stone, her daughter, are not kidnapped. Excuse me. They go off with Les the Diamond.
Oof, the standout
steals the film. So
yeah.
so she's off with Les the Diamond and with the daughter, and the little girl just blurts out to James Woods like, "I want to see the Elephant Man."
I don't want to go to Europe. I want to go to see the Elephant Man.
We're not going to.
Which number one is insane because it's like I guess it's 1980 in this scene in the film.
Amazing.
And it's playing theaters, and the little girl's like, "That looks good. I want to see the Elephant Man."
Yeah.
But of course, Les the Diamond, the character, has no idea that there's a David Lynch film, an Oscar contender called The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Playing in L.A. somewhere where they're all hiding.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he just goes, "We're not going to see any goddamn elephants."
We're not going to go see any fucking elephants, okay? We're going to Europe. Let the adults talk. You dye your hair. You get plastic surgery, like we talked about.
Yeah, right.
That's what he hears the little girl say.
Yeah. Great.
One of my favorite.
And
I love that.
Just before that too, it's just while we're here, it's insane too when he's on the phone, James Woods, and he gets off the phone to reveal, Sharon Stone with the short hair and the mullet, and she's cutting up lines of cocaine in front of her daughter Amy too.
And,
it's just like,
and she says, "Don't do this." To her daughter. And that feels, I always felt that like cut to millions of Gen X kids' experiences with their fucked up parents.
Totally. Totally.
Don't do this.
Don't
Cindy.
do this. Yeah, Cindy. Yeah, right.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, mine there's so many great performances, as I mentioned. Pesci's on fire, Stone, but of course De Niro, he's so great in this film as well too.
So great.
And you have to imagine, I don't know this for fact, you just have to imagine, Marty likes, having fun making these movies. He has a lot of fun making these movies, and I'm sure that there's some degree of improv that occurs in these films because when you got great actors like them. I don't know. This movie does have so much little fun humor that's added all throughout it, of course, Of
course.
And one moment that just stuck out to me, and there's a lot of them. I don't know why I just picked this one random one, but it's in that scene where towards the end of the film where there's the huge 7 a.m. crazy, a fight on the lawn, and the cops show up, and she's throwing grass at him and stuff, and she's on fire in that scene. She's just incredible, and it's so funny. But when she goes into the house, looking for the safe deposit key and all that stuff, and he's waiting. Robert De Niro's character Sam Ace is waiting outside with the cop, and there's just that innocuous dialogue exchange where the cop's like, "Yeah, so." Yeah, she's having another kid, my wife's having another kid, and they're just like, "Oh, congratulations." And then De Niro just does this amazing, De Niro thing. Yeah. And then he just sticks out his hand for like a little pathetic handshake.
My wife's pregnant again. Oh, good. Yeah, congratulations. Thanks, yeah. I'm kind of happy about that for you.
Like respect between fathers.
Yeah, right. That's just like in the middle of the insanity of that whole scene.
And not only that, it's like Scorsese finds humor in things once in a while.
That's what I mean.
But it also grounds the film in realism. Like that really more likely could have happened than not.
Totally.
Where there's just this small talk. You know, in the middle of this thunderstorm of psychotic domestic violence. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody.
Absolutely. So I don't know why that stuck out to me. It's just a very funny improv moment.
Right.
I'm assuming.
Frank's also, he's like he's like also Mr. Las Vegas, right? So he's got to kind of still kind of have a relationship with the policeman.
Well, that's one of his paid off guys. Like, all those guys are in the payroll.
Love it. All right, Marcus, give us one of your deep cut Danny's.
Okay, so I was watching the Blu-ray.
Ooh.
And in the scene where like the person gets murdered in Costa Rica, there's like a panning.
The skimmer, the guy who's skimming.
Right. The skimmer gets murdered in Costa Rica. There's like a really long panning shot across his pool, and in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, I caught there was a hair in the gate.
Oh my god!
Marty.
Marty. I was gonna say
there
Marcus.
A long time, and and it just really took me out of the scene. So.
That's your detail.
Whoa,
is the hair on the? Whoa.
I think maybe we're taking this details thing too far.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, dude.
I'm reevaluating.
Marcus just keeps going deeper and deeper. All right, so
you got both of them.
Yeah, right. All right, shall we?
So there we are. We've set the bar.
We set the bar. There we go.
That's how we're approaching Casino today.
Yeah, there we go. So let's
hair and gate level.
Yes, hair stuck in the gate. You'll have to send me a screenshot of that so I can cut to it for the good people.
Okay. All
right. So let's just get into this. I mean, again, just real quick, the movie opens with that great, cold open moment. Voiceover of Ace talking about, you got to be able to trust someone. Boom, car bomb. Great way to open a movie, obviously. But then these opening titles, I knew, Marcus, you probably want to talk about him. I want to talk about him. Is it Saul Bass that did this opening title sequence? Yeah. Fantastic. Just the fucking music, the floating body of him being exploded, the macro close-ups of all of the Vegas lights and the flames that are imposed over them, and just how he's elegant,
he's descending into hell.
Yeah, but it's also so elegant, and it's not like rock and roll Rolling Stones for this minute. It's very it's got a lot of weight to it. These titles.
A lot of it's the music.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So anyway, that was obviously awesome. I don't know. I'm kind of going chronological here, but obviously, we see an opening montage of like how the inner workings of Vegas, works. Like we're going to look behind the scenes, all the, money being counted, the count rooms, how they're, how people are being paid off and skimming, all that's explained.
I love hearing that Ace Rothstein says, I don't even get to go into the count room.
Yeah, right.
I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah.
There's a really beautiful tracking shot in there early on where it shows the coins being dumped in the machine, and then there's this line, and then just the camera work, it follows the lines of the machine and where the coins are going and stuff. And
beautiful.
It's just the camera movements are so well planned out and executed with this real confidence. The camera work. It's really beautiful. It's succinct and tells the story so well, and just. It's amazing they can plan out those kind of movements and execute them that well.
It's definitely Goodfellas 2.0 when it comes to the camera movements in this film. I mean, they're so sophisticated. There's so many of them, too, that are just amazing. But then we sort of learn that all of this skimming operation that they're doing in Vegas is connected to Kansas City. Now, I got to say, the Kansas City stuff is some of my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Because
there's that shot of all of them, all these old men sitting around a dinner table, and it's kind of like the Last Supper kind of.
Yeah, meatballs and everything there.
Yeah.
And it's just because obviously everything with Vegas is so glittery and glamorous and gaudy, And then it contrasts very nice in Kansas City, where it's just like the back of like, you know, some Italian market, you know, and there's a lot of texture and grit to it.
Pretty Sopranos, actually.
It is, and it feels very 70s
setting.
This is like where like it's a different type of 70s, you know, obviously.
Right.
That Midwestern 70s. And love all the mob bosses. You know, they're not like overused mob actors, I feel like, where, you know, like a Phil Leotardo, whatever his real name is in this movie. He's in every, you know, Billy Batts, he's in all these movies. But the bosses in Kansas City are like real, I don't know, they're underused actors, and
it's
great.
Really good casting. I think they
Great
are
casting.
like kind of real people, you know, that went on to become actors.
Okay.
But I think that they were more like neighborhood type guys or something. You know?
Oh, wow. I think the lead guy, though,
Remo?
of the Kansas City Crew, I think he's like an old comedian.
Are you talking about the guy Remo? That guy?
Yeah, Remo, exactly.
Yeah, he's great. But the guy who's got the voice that's a really high up, I can't do it.
You gotta go back there and talk to that guy.
Come on, go back. I never got paid my expenses for the last trip.
What expenses?
But that guy is incredible.
like leakage, my balls.
Yeah, right.
I want to know what my money's going.
Yeah.
Who's taking our money?
Yeah.
No, they steal the show. And, you know, especially towards the end when they're all like feigning sympathy from the courts and like on respirators.
I know.
Oxygen tents.
And it's another layer of comedy too.
And they're old.
Yeah, it's like another layer of black comedy when you see one of them, like when you see Nicky or you know, or presumably Nicky or his crew doing something really violent and terrible in this film. It always cuts back to those old bosses, and they're like, "Can we just tell him to keep it quiet a little bit?" You know, or like it's not a big deal.
Like
you know.
like tell him just leave our friends alone.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
They're reducing everything into this sort of
right.
like PG rated version of reality.
Totally.
So Joe Pesci, stole the film in Goodfellas, one of the big scenes of all time. I remember I've said this before, when I first saw Goodfellas, I said in real time, I'm watching a film classic scene that will be like remembered for hundreds of years. The
Scheinbach
clown amuse you.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Clown amuse you.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is now we got Pesci again because you know, in a way this is like Goodfellas, simply in terms of casting at the very least. So
yeah, Joe
Pesci's back and he is on fire, and we really get the big introduction with the pen scene.
Yep. You have what is it, Long Long While by the Stones playing, I think, during that song. And just shout out, obviously, so much great music in this movie, and something
wall to wall kind of.
Yeah, and it is. And but what's really dialed in about it is actually, and we'll circle back to the pen scene, but just it's emphasized kind of here, is the idea of like the sound mixing on all the music is so well done, because it's really mixed pretty almost in competition with the dialogue sometimes. Like it's right up at the dialogue or the VO, you know, but then when like a burst of violence happens, that music really does then get pushed even farther into like a crescendo, and it gives you just this really, it's really kind of amazing, just even like concentrating just the audio in this film.
Never knew when to keep his fucking mouth shut.
And how it's all put together, but
right, it really does steer your emotions too. I noticed in that opening when we first kind of meet the guys and the Kansas City guys, we're in sort of a room that looks like almost like a David Lynch type of room with like a red curtain and like a check floor, you know.
Yeah,
and this Otis Redding is playing that fa 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 song.
All those fucking sweeps.
I mean, unless Ace made his bets.
It just feels like the good old days, the good times, you know, the horns are swelling.
Mid-century.
It feels, it gives you a little bit of that early Goodfellas, like these are the good days, these are the cool times, you know,
totally.
You know, the early days.
Can I bring up something about the music, not just the choices, supervision, but like one thing that always struck me in how creative it, you know, Marty can be so creative, I guess with his editor, Thelma Schoonmaker, but there's a moment later in the film where they're having a talk in the desert, Pesci and De Niro. But what happens is there's these stirring sort of cinematic, you know, like modern classical strings going.
Do you know what that is?
Normally, my prospects of coming back alive from a meeting with Nicky were 99 out of 100.
That's from Contempt, Jean-Luc Godard, Contempt.
Oh my God,
that's
did sound
used in
familiar.
that. Yeah.
No, but my point was like, so that's playing, but then very creatively countering it, because there's sort of tension in that scene in the buildup as he's driving into the desert to meet with Pesci. is it's just a big, like, long drum-filled drum solo.
Oh,
That's Toad.
And that's
Toad by Cream.
Oh, okay. There you go. So it's so like Bro is like conflating like
Godard
Contempt soundtrack in real time with like a Toad Ginger Baker drum solo.
That's awesome.
And then I find that really stirring because it feels very free. Like he didn't feel like, well, you can't do that in a movie.
Yeah, there's tons of that in this.
Usually
movie.
you can't do that. I'm talking just strictly the music.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. No, I'm talking about. Yeah. I love because they cross over. Like they're playing at the same time. The drums
and they're 50-50. You know, it's insane.
Very
so
Kenneth
cool,
kind of Kenneth Anger inspired.
God,
you know, for sure.
More or David
Lynch. It does seem like a lot of times he is like just doing things that no one else could do or could try. You know what I mean? I've noticed that,
or would want
later,
to.
But
so creative.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to get into that.
And he's so great at curating the songs. You know, finding the songs that speak to that moment. You know, that really encapsulate that moment or that feeling, as you were saying. But anyway, back to the pen scene. Long, Long While by the Stones playing. And then, this guy says, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself when Ace
why don't you shove that pen up your ass?
Yeah, right. And then, of course, hey. And then, Pesci gets riled up and then he starts stabbing the guy and it's close up into the jugular. The
blood is like glowing red and the one thing I noticed, here's another detail core thing about this scene that's part of the film, is I think Martin realized there's something about the way light works in Las Vegas because interiors are always fighting to suppress this overbearing hot white sunlight.
Yeah.
And all throughout the film there's this and by the way, I think he is working with a different cinematographer here than he usually was.
He is. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And I think that guy was picking up on the weird sort of quote unquote Las Vegas sunlight.
Yeah.
In interiors, and this is a good scene to indicate that because it's making all these close-ups like of the bloody pen just like pop with this glowing like reflection of the Vegas sunlight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I can, the cinematographer is Robert Richardson, and we have a tradition here of kind of like going through the other work that the guys, featured.
Oh God, here comes Hard to Die.
Not exactly a joke one, but
maybe Jesus too.
Yeah, he did right. It doesn't end with that this time, but there's like Fast, Cheap, and Out of Control, and Mr. Death. So he worked with Errol Morris.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He did Wall Street, Platoon. He did the fucking Doors.
Oh,
okay. JFK, A Few Good Men.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, me too.
Natural Born Killers. Another show. Then I guess he hooked up with Tarantino because he did Kill Bill and Glorious Bastards once upon a time in Hollywood. Okay. And he's continued to do stuff with Scorsese too, like Hugo.
I love Hugo.
And even the George Harrison doc, and then he's got the upcoming David O. Russell movie on Madden. So,
great.
But anyway, so that scene highlights one of the great looks that I think this cinematographer picked up on, which is that Las Vegas light peeking through interiors.
Yeah.
As he stabs the guy, and the scene resolves with almost a Tom adult nightmare again, is the wheezing and childlike whimper of the man who's been stabbed in the neck with the pen.
Yeah. Okay, you hear a little girl, Frankie? Hear a little girl, Ace? Is that a little fucking girl?
And of course, Pesci very sensitively observes that wheezing and goes like, "Hey, Ace, you hearing that? Ace, you hear that little girl?
You hear a little girl? Yeah.
Holy shit!
We should also, I know it's insane, but the other little detail in that moment that's also so good, while he's holding the bloody pen nib. Shout out to all of our Black Sabbath fans. But he's holding that, and then there's a great moment because this is the introduction to Nicky. Like we don't know what Nicky's about up until this moment. This is, of course, the VO from Ace is telling you, if you bring a gun, you better, kill him because he's going to come back and back and back. So this is introducing him as a supreme badass, dangerous, homicidal, crazy psycho. Great little moment is after he's done stabbing the guy, it holds up a shot on Pesci.
Yes.
Smoke rising,
as if they're in hell.
Yeah, smoke rising. Then it like smashes to slow motion too during that to emphasize that moment. It's a very cool little flourish.
It's
there.
Really slow motion, and it's just Pesci looking almost lost in rage and madness at De Niro. and great. And then also De Niro's there's a close up slow motion of De Niro going like, what did I just see?
Yeah, exactly.
Knucking Futz,
exactly.
There's a new low for my buddy Nicky here.
Yeah.
Great scene.
Yeah, great scene.
Early on in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So James Woods enters as Lester Diamond, as we mentioned, around the half-hour mark. And it's amazing. Like he's there, with Ginger, and he's talking to her, and he's trying to like kind of get her attention or get her to focus on him. And he's like, "You're in that place again. You're in that place again."
Where you going? Where are you? You're in that place. Where are you? No, you're not.
And then
and he weirdly looks away all the time.
Yes, true.
He's doing these weird, sleazy pimp manipulations, and one of them is to like kind of look away as he's saying certain things in a certain rhythm. I don't know if I noticed. I picked up on that. And Lester looks away a lot.
Yeah, and he also has that like see-through mesh, like crochet shirt or whatever in that. But
he's very hardcore.
You know what I was thinking? He's very Paul Snider from Star 80 vibes.
Both.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Right.
He would be in both worlds of the. Shout out to both of our episodes.
Yeah.
Star 80 and
totally. Yeah. There you go. Marcus, you were going to say something about Lester?
Oh, just adjusting the costume. His costume and just the costume work in this movie just is so knocks it out of the park. I think a lot of times people do a period piece and it looks like a costume or it looks fakey. There's something wrong with it, but with like a Scorsese movie, it feels real to me. It always in this movie, especially when you've got these like really flamboyant like costumes, but it doesn't look like Anchorman or something. You know what I mean? Like it looks like people.
It doesn't look production designed.
Yeah,
accurate
and
or costume designed rather.
Right, but the costume design, I guess, like Scorsese, like his parents were like a garment presser and like a seamstress, so he's got clothes on the brain, And the people that did the wardrobe for this was like some of it is vintage, but then they made all the suits that like Ace wears are all custom done. They all fit really well and stuff. And I don't know, there's just cool. I think the costumes are just really knocking out of the park.
Totally.
We were respecting Marty's sense of detail and accuracy, period accuracy, excuse me, because we were pointing out that both The Doors and Goodfellas came out the same year, and one is wildly off.
Right.
Which one? Yeah. And one is like on the nose. So it's more of the same with this film. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's period core.
James Woods, his one of his costumes in this is like it's like a Gucci knockoff clothes to match like his character, right? It's not just a Gucci. It's like he's got to look.
Well, it matters. It's like we said this, I think, before with Goodfellas. It's like not just the costumes, but everything kind of matters to have you steeped and living in 1967 with the mob or 1982 in Vegas. Like it matters because it didn't always really matter. Like a lot of times they were cutting corners and going like close enough, and people will get there. But he makes it immersive. So. If I might, I want to introduce a pet detail core thing that I observed a thread of this throughout the film, and you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. Scorsese did something interesting here. He did certain close-ups of desirable objects. Okay. Sure. So like the diamonds in slow motion are falling into like a red. Out of the hair into like red material, and then like the line of cocaine, and then there's some and other there's all these close-ups of especially diamonds or jewelry, and it's almost like this dreamy, hazy view of them, like it's pornographic. Because one thing I really like about Scorsese is he wants to get under the hood about like the emotions of people, good or bad people, wherever they are, and they do get intoxicated. These working class people like diamonds, and like there's these moments when they would just stare at all this material wealth, and it would like get them hard on and make them kind of intoxicated. And he understands that, so he lets you kind of share that. And throughout the film, there's this like falling diamond close-up look. You guys notice that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's tons of that. Yeah, it's amazing,
and that's very him. I love that. Like there's a shot of Sharon Stone staring. Almost with this out of focus, like cheap gold necklace, Anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, no, for sure. A big theme in this movie is just like the soulless materialism of our country and crime, and
Well, what I was saying, I think it's a little different. It's like I don't know if I would call it soulless, but just like the emotions. Like he takes you into the head and the heart of these people, and there's their desire, and it's almost like pornographic desire and lust. It doesn't feel like soulless and like cold. It feels actually like really hot and like passionate.
Well, he just talked a bit about how these people are like lost, and our culture is just American culture is just so materialistic and without any sort of spiritual basis, and he sees these characters as being like lost in that world, like lost in that materialism.
Well, and Vegas is also kind of like is the perfect setting for something like that too.
Dude, 100% boom. And that is exactly what I'm talking about, because Vegas is this shimmering object.
Yeah, right.
And I just noticed that he picked up on that. Like, it's almost like this lizard brain part of us that's like the glowing, shiny color object.
I got you.
Desire.
Okay,
That's all.
yeah.
All right.
That makes him a genius.
Somewhat nervous because we have 27 minutes left for 2.5 hours of movie.
Go, man, go.
All right. So I want to just quickly spotlight great series of shots when Sam introduces Nikki to Ginger for the first time. Great little, just like, like, I don't know what that you call that style where it's like these amazing, like repeated glamour shots of her, like in that room. Is very cool, hip choice there.
What have you been up to, Ace?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Because obviously he's got a whole new life there, but then Ace is really nervous about Nikki coming to town because he knows Nikki's a psychopath and he's going to fuck everything up, and of course that does eventually
but you know
happen.
what? That's another desirable object shot, like I was just saying.
Yeah, right.
In this case, it's Sharon Stone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then again, cool music-based montage. I think it's Ain't I Superstitious by Jeff Beck is playing, and we're seeing now a great little scene of, again, looking under the hood of how something like this happens, where you have the card counter guys in Las Vegas who are communicating through the little Morse code thing or whatever, and they have their whole little scheme to con the casino out of. And of course, we see how Ace is hip to this, how he discovers what's going on, and then they intervene and they fuck up that one guy. If they fucking cattle prod him, and then they bring
what's
him.
the immortal line? A few minutes later. Well, first of all, the guy comes out with the circular saw, and he goes like, "Cheater's justice."
Cheater's justice. Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah, right.
You guys pick up on that?
Totally.
One of the guards, "Cheater's justice."
Yeah.
That's my new band, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and then
they fuck up his right hand, his card hand.
Again, more brutal, blunt, visceral violence this movie has.
I felt that more than anything in any film.
I know.
Is the way his hands just get his bones become powder in his hand.
I know, it's fucked up. Yeah. So they do that. Love the look of his partner too. That perfect bald spot and just that I don't know, whatever. In my mind's eye, he looks like the Reanimator guy in there.
He's like WKRP in Cincinnati.
Totally. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
but just
like he's like
mediocre 1982 person.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. So
like non-player role, like 1982.
A total NPC guy.
NPC.
Yeah. NPR NPC. Love that. Okay, then we have an exchange with Ginger talking to Ace, and Ace is kind of proposing to her that they get married and all this stuff, and she's basically saying like, "I don't love you.
I care about you, but I just don't have those kind of feelings for you. I'm sorry."
And giving him all the red flags and how this is not going to work out. And that sets up, everything, because that sets up like he's trying to force this woman to love him through material items, through showering her with gifts, through everything, sowing his own demise right there, but decides to go ahead with it. Which
she did warn him.
She warned him hardcore in that moment. Yes. Because then she just, winds up being this, completely crazy, lying.
How does this bride celebrate the nuptials after they're over?
Yeah.
Like the first thing any bride would do is...
Well, right before she does that, this is an interesting detail. Great little cinematic choice is...
Let's go.
It's Sam and Ginger at the wedding, right? And they are kissing in front of the wedding cake. And it's a great Scorsese tracking push-in shot. And but then we hear Lester's voiceover, saying, "Can you feel me inside you?
Can you feel my eyes on you? Can you feel me look into your heart? Can you feel me in the pit of your stomach?
Can you feel me with all your heart?
Don't make me come there."
Yes, yes. Don't you know I love you, baby? All that stuff. that then
I
cuts.
remember when I first met you, you were a 14-year-old colt.
Yeah.
He uses that trick a few times in this movie where you hear the voiceover
before you see it.
Before you can tell what's going on.
Yeah. And then it cuts to him in a motel room with some other broad there cutting up coke lines as he's feeding her all this jive on the phone while she's at her own wedding and bawling her eyes out. And you're just like, oh shit, this is not good. Because
she's in the lobby and the only thing she can think of after she said I do is less the diamond.
Yeah, exactly. Because he does have some sort of Paul Snyder hold on her, like probably.
Well, he says, like when I met you when you were 14.
Yeah.
So he is groomed her.
Yeah, exactly.
In today's parlance.
And she can't let go. Yeah. So, pretty gross there, but great scene. Again, more red flags for our
of course.
For our
and then
hero.
Ace walks in and overhears this.
Yeah. I just had to say goodbye, but no, obviously,
Oh God.
I mean, maybe he's a good businessman, but his personal life, disaster. A guy like Ace. So then we see her showering with jewelry, fur coats, a new house, all this stuff. Safe deposit box with $2 million in it. Here's the key that you only have control of. This guy's the biggest schmuck that ever walked the earth, all that kind of stuff. And then we see like the kind of rise of Ace in Las Vegas, and there's a voiceover. I love how the voiceover bounces around to all the different characters, of course, too. But we have Nikki sort of saying like, now he's this big shot in town. Huh? He's such a big shot that he hired Jonathan and David and their pet tigers away from the palace.
Siegfried and Roy.
Couldn't use the Siegfried and Roy trademark, but go ahead. Yeah,
right. I still love that he went out of his way to put a tiger in the movie, for like one shot or whatever.
Yeah, of course. And then, of course, we cut to the Kansas City stuff, and some guys shot up a bar, and that's how we get into the head vice scene.
There we go.
We've done it. We don't need to hit it. But another great thing is we should mention this. There's some great casting choices on sort of the sort of supporting cast characters, shall we say. Don Rickles is fantastic in this movie.
Indeed.
Very understated performance, for a guy like that. He's amazing.
Well, he really shines. Like the big scene is when he's with the WKRP guy, and he's like,
"Oh, come on this way.
But why don't we let's get a nice bottle of champagne for you?
Yeah.
Celebrate your earnings." As
Yeah.
he's about to be taken into the back room with the broken arm guy.
Right.
No, that's with the big greasy lizardy smile.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Don Rickles also a person who has a direct connection to that world, like at the time.
Vegas.
I mean, he was on the Frank Rosenthal show. Frank Rosenthal being the person who Ace is based on, but there's a little clip of that interview online.
We got to get to
Don
that.
Rickles,
with
Frank Rosenthal.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because it's coming up. But yeah, Don Rickles, fantastic. Also, Joe Bob Briggs, who would have thunk it?
He's great
in this movie. Yeah, really great.
Gee, Mr. Rothstein, sometimes you just gotta win.
Yeah. And the firing of Joe Bob Briggs, which of course everyone is like, another red flag. This is gonna be bad if you do this because he's connected to everybody here in town.
I know.
And a great little moment too. Whoever wrote it in the script. Mr. Pileggi, I guess. But the idea of showing how truly, I guess OCD, how obsessive, Ace is with running this place, I guess, semi-legitimately, but also, running a tight ship is when he's sharing one of the blueberry muffins. He's got his blueberry muffin, and the other guy's got a blueberry. Look how many blueberries are in your muffin. Look,
yours is covered blueberries. I got one in my muffin.
I guess that is a story plucked from real life too. Except for it wasn't like equal number of blueberries, but it was like each muffin had to have 10.
Oh, okay. So there you go. All right. Yeah. Truth is stranger than fiction.
But the guy who steals the movie for 1 second is the deadpan delivery of the chef. Like
an equal amount of blueberries in each muffin.
Do you know how long that's going to take?
Do you know how long that's going to take?
Yeah, totally.
Dude, I hope he's a real chef, and they just grabbed him.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I don't.
He's the actual blueberry muffin chef.
Can I point out one little thing about the sort of the emotional roller coaster of this film, just very briefly?
Sure.
Pesci. So I'm looking the scene more or less before Pesci's got the guy in a fucking vice.
Yeah.
His head in a vice is the scene before is that sweet moment where he's helping his little child, his boy, have some pancakes.
Oh yeah,
in the morning, and he's like, don't put too much syrup. Why too much syrup is bad? And like his son's like, it'll clog your heart. And he's like, you smart kid. And he's like a nice dad.
Well, that's
and
the whole.
Then he puts the guy's head in a fucking.
That's the whole. That's the whole. Sociopath, mobster killer trope.
Yeah.
They can be the family man, and then they can garrote a guy down the street. A second later. So then we see that she's taking money and being sort of lying, deceitful to Ace, taking money, bringing it to Lester, and then there's that scene where, they beat up Lester, right, outside in the parking lot.
Well, there's a great De Niro Woods confrontation at the diner.
Yes.
And that's an incredible thing to see. Like, if you think about it just on paper, the potential electricity, like James Woods is going to have a scene with De Niro in a Scorsese film. You know what I'm saying? Just on paper, like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it does come to fruition. They're both on fire. And it's almost like you wish there was another film with them, more scenes or more in this film.
Need more
But
Woods.
anyway, it's good enough. We got that scene, and they're both just killing it. And they're just Woods must have been in heaven, for that moment,
Yeah, totally.
And he meets the occasion of being in this high profile thing. He's great. We like James Woods here.
Oh, we love him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to speed through a couple things, but moving ahead a little bit. There's, a great montage, just more Scorsese style, where Ace's voiceover is talking about how anything that happens in this town, if someone gets whacked, they're going to be questioning Nikki. They're going to question Nikki. And there's just a great 360, like, rotating top-down shot of this, like, gunned down husband and wife, like on a sidewalk, and it's like completely like, and it's just a really wild shot. And I thought that was really cool. Nikki, of course, he's being surveilled now heavily. He decides to buy his own surveillance equipment. You're gonna watch me. I'm gonna fucking watch you. Always love that.
That's some good vintage gear porn for a second. Like,
Totally.
like 1984, like circa 1984, like high, like surveillance gear.
Yeah, love that, and
I'm sure that's all period accurate.
Totally. Or when Ace gives Ginger the like beeper, it's very lightweight. So
I noticed that. Yeah.
It looks like it's a wood panel.
Not what you might have heard that these beepers are enormous.
Yeah.
Okay. One more Pesci little pet thing I want to just bring up as we walk through the story of the film. Yep. Is he has to kill that woman who's the partner of the legit guy.
Yeah.
So she's having morning breakfast in her nook. He walks in like a cat burglar with his like newsy hat, and he just of course shoots her in the head. But then he does this weird thing and like he's like positioning her dead body's head,
and then her like blood
let
falls
the blood
out.
just kind of trickle out of her mouth, and he's kind of petting her forehead. It's like, what?
Whoa! I know.
It's weirdly
That's super
delayed
demented.
gore, because you don't see the blood spray or something.
True.
I guess it's the 22.
What I'm saying is like the behavior of Pesci is very odd. That's what really. You guys notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's an unsettling moment for sure. Then
like a loving touch.
Yeah. And then one scene where, it's a big contributor to how things, fall apart for everybody in this movie is we cut back to my favorite, Kansas City. And we're focusing on, I think, one of the underbosses, Piscano, who's being recorded in the Italian market next to Scorsese's mom. That's, of course, her cameo in this film. And I guess, he starts, opening his big fat mouth about everything that's going on in Vegas.
And so-and-so's on the skim, and then he's, like looking away. And it's like, and then cut to furious writing by the FBI as they're listening in.
Yeah, they happen to be listening in by chance, just on some other freaking random thing. And they stumble on, the entire operation of how
it all unravels right at that moment.
Yeah, which I love, because things always got to start that way. With some fucking buffoon. But I think the guy who plays Piscano is actually, that's a great performance, underrated. I think he's really good. And in that moment where he's getting really worked up, talking about all the assholes out there in Vegas, he like steps backward and like knocks into a bunch of like fucking like olive oil bottles. And it's just very real. It feels very lived in and very real, like that kind of,
Well, and also like right then he's going back and forth with Scorsese's mom, who really is a very good verite kind of improv actress.
Totally.
Like don't all these F words.
Yeah,
like
you got to curse like that all the time. Yeah.
Her reaction to his F words is just like so aghast.
I know it's all genuine. It's genuine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not acting.
Yeah. So, of course, we know that Ace loses, or he doesn't win his, or he doesn't get his license, his gaming license. And he gets obviously screwed out of it, but that's kind of by his own doing because he fires Joe Bob Briggs and pisses everybody off. So in retaliation, because he's, got the hubris of, his ego is, very large in this film in terms of, all that stuff. And he decides to launch his own TV program, as we've mentioned earlier, Aces High. And this feels like the Maurice Wiggs of Casino, because they get so much right. Even down to that woman, that like showgirl woman who's introducing the show, and she's like, "Here's the all new Aces High."
We present the premiere showing of Aces High.
Her emphasis is kind of weird.
Yeah.
No, I know. And then, but even just like the graphics for the title,
yes,
like that's period accurate, like 1985 video titling. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
beautiful.
Aces
and when I first saw this film, I didn't think like, could this be real?
And
but all of it's very real.
Yeah.
He did have a show on television.
Yeah, he had his own TV show. You can see episodes of it out there. But yeah, the Frank Rosenthal show, and he seemed like he was even more flamboyant in like real life than the De Niro character.
Yeah,
and there's some amazing showdowns. Like when he goes to the licensing board, and there's that showdown in this movie where he's like getting mad and he's accusing the guy being the licensing board member of being corrupt. That scene is caught on video in real life. Of Rosenthal confronting Harry Reid, who had become the Senate Majority Leader years later.
So weird.
Yeah. He was on the Nevada Gaming Board at the time, and
like this beloved Democratic leader was a sleazeball.
And there's totally. And Rosenthal's like accusing him of being corrupt. And he basically gets the guy to admit to have asked him for a favor on camera.
Oh, there you go.
It's a really weird showdown. Anyway, it's a lot of this stuff. All these characters in the movie, Pesci's character, they all are like real life people and like notorious figures.
Totally, Slipatoro, whatever his real name was.
It's good Pileggi journalism. Like it's pretty accurate.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think like he actually ended up like once Frank Rosenthal heard that they were making a movie and that De Niro would play him, he like reached out to Pileggi and asked if he could meet De Niro. And the next thing you know, Frank's on set making sure, or going to all the wardrobe fittings, making sure he approves of the wardrobe and stuff. So he was actually involved in the.
I'm surprised they let him in. Wow. But real quick to touch on Aces High, more fucking bullseye moments where they're talking about how Sam Ace is going to take you through the real Las Vegas, and then it's like insert video shots of roast beef being cut.
Like shitty B-roll.
Love it. And then
like nightlife,
the fucking neon and pastel jumpsuits of the dancers, male and female. Very
and
funny.
The weird like 75-year-old Eastern European band leader.
Like
Mr. Gajinga-jing. Got like a cheap suit.
And then it's like
prom suit.
Totally, and it's like that's the way. I like it.
Yeah, right. Kitsch,
really kitsch.
Pop song.
Totally,
covers,
and then of course it cuts to like, oh no, Sam's juggling, and then that's our way out of it. He's juggling while some old dude is playing like the bumblebee on like the violin or something. The flight of the bumblebee.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, he's juggling again, and it's like, oh,
he jumped the shark basically.
Yeah, and he's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And so and everyone thinks he's losing his mind. So anyway, just a couple of quick things here to keep it moving. We kind of talked about that ominous meeting with Nikki and
the desert encounter. Great. Just another shout out to the stylization that Scorsese indulges in, gets away with, enjoys, flourishes. It's the shot of the sunglasses that Ace is wearing. And Pesci's car is going by and raising dust, and it crosses along his reflective sunglasses. That shot.
It's amazing.
Killer.
Yeah, killer stuff. Nikki going nuts at the blackjack table. He gets fucking wasted and decides to fucking fuck with the blackjack
deal. Got up your fucking ass.
Yeah, right.
Like look at this butte. Like when they get a new dealer.
Look at this fucking butte they put in now.
Hit me.
Oh no, I love that.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Stick this card up your sister's ass.
Yeah, but very sad that he decides to beat up Rickles with the phone.
That's too much for me.
That's too much for me. Like, no, don't fuck with him, please. No.
Beating up like a 70-year-old man. Like,
yeah. Then we see the debut of Ginger's new fucking haircut, bro, which is so crazy. I mean, great choice, so accurate to the time of like this bouffant mullet or whatever.
Like going through changes, 80s style.
Yeah, going through changes.
The 80s have landed.
Like Pat Benatar or something?
Yeah,
or,
it's like, but it's even more severe because it's like got a crazier tail on it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's of course, you know, your scene with Elephant Man, which, by the way, Nielsen's Without You is playing during the Elephant Man scene, which is kind of incredible. You know,
catch that.
Yeah. So, you know, Ginger wants to come back. She's been on the lam, so to speak, I guess. She's taken, you know, her daughter out with Lester, as we said, and she wants to come back home. And this is kind of the back and forth of like Ace taking her back and then kicking her out and all this stuff. And things are getting really bad. But this is a scene to me that is really disgusting and freaked me out.
All right,
this on this watch again, which is when Nikki and Ginger start coming on to each other. And like, if you really pay attention to Pesci's performance in that moment when he's got her on the couch, and there's a lot of like, I don't even know, this like comfort fondling that's going on, and he's like kind of like has his mouth like
taking advantage of her sense, her
he's
vulnerability.
He's like,
like this could go in this direction.
And
let's just really nudge this a little bit.
And it's really gross. And then just the idea that he just like kind of brings her head down, you know, and it's like a BJ fade out is really disturbing.
Like he does earlier with that girl. Like the thing about the veal on the East Coast is he's like pulling her head down in his lap in his convertible or whatever.
And it's
actually, can I point out? There's a little thing that's actually not sleazy but interesting. It's the back and forth between Sam and Ginger, and they have a horrible fight. And she leaves, and she comes back though, and just lies in the bed next to him, and he reaches out his hand to her.
Yeah.
You catch that?
Of course.
And she just kind of holds his hand.
Yeah,
and that always blew me away because it's like, I don't know relationships like that. Like what is that? But I guess that happens with people. Like there is something there,
totally
under or around all
absolutely.
this heavy, ugly, dysfunctional parent projection weirdness. You know, and just two damaged
Guilt.
people in their own way.
Yeah,
but then they reach out
family.
And
you know,
they're family, and
not just the kid though, but like there is.
Yeah,
I mean, they're so alone in their own way.
Totally,
and they
broken.
do have maybe this tiny ember of something. It's dead. It's not going to work out. But like
that's the smallest amount of comfort that he can extend her. But he gives her something. You know,
that's the only time, because every other time he's got to always like jealously grill her about every detail. You know, but right after that moment when I think it's right around that moment where she comes back into bed with him. And she finally owns up to having an affair with Nikki. That's done very mellow and like, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do about him. Well, do you think, you know, and that's kind of, you know, played not in hysterics like all the other scenes are. Real quick, then when Remo gets wind of this or thinks that he hears in Vegas that, you know, what does he say? Like,
Frankie, the little guy, he wouldn't be fucking the Jew's wife, would he? Because if he is, it's a problem.
and like it's like Phil Leotardo like pause on him, freeze frame, then he gets his own voiceover.
What could I say? I knew if I gave the wrong answer, Nikki, Ginger, Ace, all of them could have wound up getting killed.
Which is insane. Like, it's his one and done voiceover, which is so out of nowhere, but I love it and welcome.
I love it. So
there's one more. We cannot forget this one big voiceover core moment, though. So I'm tapping that in my head.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to get through it here. But so then Ginger has another fucking crazy episode where she ties the daughter up into the bed. That's very scary. Jesus. And then goes out on the town. And, you know, Tony Bennett's playing in the restaurant, with Nikki and that whole thing. And then, of course, you know, there's the big blow up there. And then Ginger confronts Nikki upstairs and basically says, I'm going to go to the FBI. I'm going to fucking why don't you just kill him? Why don't you just kill him? You know? And then, of course, he slaps her back and then like kind of shoves her down the stairs and she throws her to the ground and she's like, you know, crying and like, you know, and then that's a great moment when Nikki's just like, I fucked up, Frankie.
I fucked up, Frankie. I fucked up good this time.
No, I was just gonna say, like,
I'm in a bad spot,
like he just reflects. He sits down at the base of the stairs and goes, you know what? I fucked up. I fucked up bad this time. This is bad. Like just having a moment of reflection. Like this is probably the beginning of the end of my life. Right
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then of course we mentioned the big fight outside. She goes in, she gets the fucking safety deposit box key, freeze frame on the safety deposit box key, by the way, which really, is
stolen in Boogie Nights.
Just about to say that is exactly the moment that he copied in Boogie Nights. Ding, ding, ding. And love that, when she's smashing the back of his car with her car, and then they go, fucking Rickles and Ace go to fucking follow her to the bank. They just get into this like smashed car. I don't know. It's just a comedic.
It's almost like Robert
dragging
Altman
the ground.
Totally.
Doesn't it feel that way?
It does. Yeah. But what is the moment you wanted to touch on exactly? The end or
the voiceover?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just didn't want to forget. We're talking about voiceovers, but this is again an evidence of the playfulness of Scorsese. As I keep referring, like he's creative and having fun with film because we're talking about voiceovers. So, have you ever seen before or since an interrupted voiceover?
Yeah, right.
Right? Because like Nikki's just talking like, we're meeting in a fucking cornfield. We don't want anybody to see us. And he's like, well, the thing that's important is
I mean, what's right is right. They don't give a fuck about
because he gets hit in the back of the head. He gets hit in the back with a fucking
we'll get to that.
Baseball. That is legit hilarious and nightmarish. Like who else does that?
Yeah, it's great.
Like that's not stale. That's like super fresh.
Yeah,
you know, like I guess I'm not gonna give you folks a voiceover no more. I'm getting murdered.
Yeah. Incredible,
dude.
Yeah, and then similarly, Ginger's end is very, fucking adult haunt.
Incredible music choice.
Yeah, incredible.
House of Rising Sun.
Yeah, so good. And she's wandering out full junkie mode.
You also see at the moment you see her her line before you see what's happening. She's like, "Oh no, oh no, no, no,"
Yeah, right.
And it's just kind of pushing in on that like hotel check-in spot or whatever.
Right.
And it's a very stylized, almost like 60s movie drug trip scene.
Absolutely.
Where it's, I don't know the tech on it, but it's like
cuts
like
and the camera's moving, right? And you kind of go down that hallway. Like it.
Well, what I'm saying is the hallway like
movement down the hallway.
Yeah, is that it? It's like like what I'm saying is like the camera seems to be hugging the side of the wall of the hallway.
Yeah.
It's a little BJ Lang Presents, if I'm
right. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like it's very like, and it's probably a wide angle lens happening.
Yeah.
And she's walking into the end where she's meeting the camera.
Full on fucking junkie mode, dark Hollywood motel hallway.
And all she had left was $3,600 in coins.
Dark.
Great looking hotel. I got to shout out the production designer on this, who actually worked with Dante Ferretti. He worked with he's an Italian guy. He worked with Pasolini on Salò, in fact.
Oh, hell yeah.
That weird. Yeah.
Hell
yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. No stranger to adult haunts. Then insane scene, the baseball bat
cornfield.
Scene. Cornfield. We did that. But let's talk about the end because it's amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie. The montage of all the casinos blowing up at the end, the ominous shot of the MGM Grand Lion, the fucking those amazing Dawn of the Dead shot of all the old people coming in.
That's the first. That must be making an explicit reference to Dawn of the Dead.
It has to. Old people coming in slow motion. It's incredible. That pirate ship that sinks. That's part of some Vegas show that Raimi remembers seeing when she was a kid.
I saw it too. Every hour on the hour they had a skit.
Yeah,
like pirates on a ship.
Amazing. And that fucking medieval castle casino. I can't remember what that's called, but it's great. And then of course the fucking Jean-Luc Godard contempt music comes back, and we learned that the car bombing failed and he actually survived. And
one thing about this movie is like The Wolf of Wall Street, sometimes his movies end they land quietly on like the final note, and I love that final note is just simply and Ace is like that was that.
And
like he's been telling you this whole story with these incredible highs, incredible lows, and he's just like, but at the end of the day, I'm sitting here looking at the racing form and
looking pretty good.
And I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee.
I know. Yeah, right.
It's like that's that.
Yeah. So
I love that.
What a fucking operatic, emotional roller coaster.
It's amazing. And an hour just.
Yeah,
we are underserving with our premise of the show here. It's so
we always are.
Oh yeah.
But especially now.
I know. I'm sorry. But
it's a rough one. There's I have one fun fact that the guy who that there's the sort of like elderly assassins in the Costa Rica scene.
Oh, I love that shit. Yeah,
one of those guys is the actual ex gangster who was in the witness protection program who knew all these guys and stuff. And he was they were trying to show him how to do an execution, and Marty was like, you know what, fuck it, you just go in there and you do it. So that's an actual mob hitman doing it.
All right.
Yeah, I think I know which one it is.
Yeah. Holy shnikes. All right.
It's a great film. I immediately had a sinking feeling. Like, first of all, the film's 3 hours. We're doing 1 fucking hour. And I was just like, we're so hopped up. And it's like,
I know.
We are underserving a film. It's not every time. I don't think every time.
No, sometimes we land the plane. Yeah.
Right. But this was ridiculous. It's that whole like 20 pounds in a 5-pound bag kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's tough when you're going through the whole movie and it's that long, and there's so many great things to talk about. But I think we hit a lot of like some of my fave little moments.
Not
for
bad.
Sure.
Not bad, but still.
Yeah. B plus, maybe B. All right. So
it's just an impossible task.
It is. It's a hard task. Yeah.
It's quixotic.
Yeah. Someday, what we should do, I know you guys, we haven't done an audio commentary in a while, but someday when we want to take on the,
That's a great idea.
We could do it in chunks. We don't have to record it all at once.
Yeah. This is a good, let's pencil it in. This is a good candidate for a possible bonus, a special walkthrough,
the whole
3-hour commentary on Casino.
Specifically, kind of make up for not hitting all the points we wanted to hit.
Yeah,
just catch up, get all the loose ends.
Yeah, there you go. Loose ends.
I love that.
Loose ends.
So keep tuned out for that.
Okay.
May or may not happen.
All right. Well, that was our best attempt at 1 fucking hour in Casino. Let us know how we did, and then. Let's talk about next week, because we're going to keep the crime films going. I think this one is a little more served for the format.
I think an hour's
perfect.
Just might match it perfectly.
Right.
We'll see.
It's so dense.
Yeah. But we are going to, we are going to the 70s now. We're leaving the 90s, going to the 70s, going to the 42nd Street version of 70s.
Right, because we started in the 70s with Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Oh, hell yeah.
So in this series, we're going to circle back to that decade. But you're right; it's the slimy drive-in side of
drive-in crime, and we're talking about, of course, 1 fucking hour on the Candy Snatchers.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
I'm going deep.
So
that's right, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So tell us what might be in store for the 1 fucking hour on Candy Snatchers next week, Tom.
Oh, well, it's just, it's a legendary film in that there's all this trash, and some of it is fun for its own sake, it's just trash. And, and they're kind of dinged up. Like there's like 4 great scenes in this movie that's otherwise kind of beat up,
sure.
Scream Bloody Murder or one of those kind of movies.
Yeah.
But like the thing that surprised all of us, we was surfacing kind of in the 90s, because it wasn't on like home video or anything in the 90s. It was like a transfer of a 16 millimeter.
Actually. Oh, wow.
And like everyone was like, no, wait, this is actually great.
Yeah.
From the first frame to the last frame. And it's like there's total command.
Yeah.
And it really shows you that in the Grindhouse context, you could have a really powerful film that's like like a great watch. And a lot of it's the script. The script is fun, innovative, engaging, and and surprising. And I think really the thing is just the premise alone is just so fresh. The first act plot twist, for instance, we're going to get into, and it's so perverse too. Mm-hmm. And there's all these insane set pieces, like any other crazy trash BJ Lang kind of movie you would find. But like it's just like it's so tightly wound, and so there's craftsmanship in a drive-in movie. It's not common. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll be next week. Get your pre-watch in. I'm sure it's available to see out there somewhere. I'm sure you can find a copy of that. So one fucking hour on Candy Snatchers. Again, shout out to the 1 fucking hour Patreon. Little Bill Maher with your Black Sabbath. Because we got up on the Patreon right now our 3 hour.
So we give Casino an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we give Black Sabbath.
We give Black Sabbath 3 hours.
So that's up on the Patreon right now, and that's the only way to see the full 3 hour show, by the way, where we go through every Black Sabbath Ozzy album from the original run.
Technical Ecstasy.
Yeah, Never Say Die,
We didn't
Sabotage.
sleep on that.
No.
Yeah.
We go through every song track by track to kind of cover the full sonic journey of that incredible run of albums there. And of course, to pay tribute to Ozzy, but also Sabbath in general, man. I mean, one of the best bands of all time. Absolutely. So if you want to hear that, get up there on the Patreon, patreon.com/onefuckinghour. Or if you want to keep all your bonus episodes on YouTube, you can join our channel by clicking the join button under this video on our channel homepage. Sign up there, same price, same perk, same benefit. We appreciate it. Helps support the show, helps keeps the lights on here, helps keep our clipper clipping and feeding his fam. So we appreciate that. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I guess we can't leave the good people without. This will be a lot to pick from this, but we can't leave people without their Moment of Zen. All right, everybody. I guess we'll see you next week for Candy Snatchers. Yeah, and more summer crime time for the rest of the summer. All right, everybody. Take care. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Tonight, live, the all-new Frank Rosenthal Show. From the Stardust Hotel in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip, it's the all-new Frank Rosenthal Show. Experienced as a columnist, operator of 4 casinos and 3 hotels, one boasting the longest-running, most successful entertainment spectacular in America. A professional gambler who Sports Illustrated has acclaimed as the best football handicapper in America. A man who will take you inside sports as no one else has ever done before. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Rosenthal.
Why stop now, Henry?
Motherfucking goddamn orange peel beef.
That was wicked, man.